Piers Sweeney scores the equaliser. Let's hear it for the Irish sod on which he learned to play football. Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
Hello. Exeter City went up the Cod Army.
Highbury.
Highbury. I like that. Team from St James Park and team from Highbury.
Yeah.
Not what you expect.
No, that is good, isn't it?
It's like when...
Which was called Highbury first?
I don't know. Arsenal, of course, moved, so maybe it was Fleetwood.
Where did they move from?
South London.
Oh.
Do you remember when the Guns N' Roses, the moderate rock band from the 80s, said they were going to have an album called The Chinese Democracy? Remember that?
Yeah, it did eventually come out.
Did eventually come out, but at one point that band, The Offspring, said they were going to call their album The Chinese Democracy, You Snooze, You Lose.
Yeah.
So maybe, that could be a thing for the football, wasn't it? Everyone wanted their ground to be called, FIFA wanted everyone to call their ground after Maradona. No, after Pele. Remember that? When Pele died, they were like, we'd like every country to name at least one ground after Pele.
I don't remember that.
Maybe we should start, beating people to it.
I was at work when Pele died.
Yes.
At the day, just as it happened kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this...
Just to be clear, your job isn't looking after elderly Brazilian footballers.
No. There was a couple of... people there. Literally a couple. They were together.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them called over to the other one. The girl called over to the guy to inform him about it, and just went like, "Pele's dead," like in such a kind of like weird, like as if like your dinner's ready kind of thing.
Poor old Pele. Anyway, City went up Highbury.
Hang on, I'm just looking up which is the first.
All right.
No.
London.
Well, it says open 1913, renovated 1932. The Arsenal one,
Right. Okay.
whereas Fleetwood's one was built in the 30s sometime.
So, I guess that's all right.
Well, I don't know whether our St James Park's first or Newcastle's.
Well, as in ours was presumably both were called it because they were next to St James Church. So
Yeah.
you've got to go a long way back, which we're not prepared to do, frankly. Fleetwood
No
Town 2, Exeter City 2.
Yeah, a decent point on the road. If without watching the game, that's how it would seem.
Yes. With watching the game, how did it seem?
Well, I think it could have been avoided. I think probably actually it is a fair result based on the performances. It's just more so that both of the goals we conceded were sort of poor defending. Very poor defending. I suppose all goals are in a way, apart from, absolute screamers from miles away.
Yeah.
But, yeah, very poor. I think
we had enough chances to get rid of the ball.
First one, it really should have been gotten rid of. Amoson's the first one to miss it. Then it's Sweeney, and then the two players chasing can't get there in time. Marriott, what's his first name? Stephen?
I don't know what his first name is, actually.
Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
Right, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, of the hotel chain fame. With both goals, good player. Good finisher. None for Stockley.
Of the Park chain.
Yep. What's Stockley Park again?
Well, the VAR set.
Of course, yeah. That's right.
Jaden Stockley's garden.
Yeah, well, it's lucky they didn't have VAR, really. Ironically. Luckily it wasn't connected to Stockley Park, because when Stockley did put the ball in the net, it was disallowed.
Which Stockley, the player or the park?
Player.
Right.
Can't for the life of me work out why.
No, I know.
Can only have been a free kick for some reason. Can't have been offside, I think, because it's direct from a corner. No idea. You can't really see what's happening in the lead up to the corner being taken on the replay, but really doesn't look like anything.
Maybe it was a bit of toe trampling.
Referee's picking up on that, is he? Oh, I saw a toe trample, and also, is that a foul?
It can be, can't it? If the striker encroaches on the goalkeeper's space to
Anyway, luckily for us, that one didn't count.
So it was one of these games where we kept conceding and then getting back in, conceding. Did it twice.
Yeah, we had a lot of possession.
We had a very good early chance.
Yeah, Josh Key has this chance at the back post. It comes from a long throw. Hartridge long throw that's then flicked on, and the keeper just sort of runs back across goal and sticks an arm up and somehow manages to keep it out. Josh Key didn't really do anything wrong, and it would have been 3-3 for him if that went in, which would have been unheard of.
Yeah. It didn't go in, and then, like you said, we conceded from what was essentially a long high ball. Aimson fails to do anything with it.
Yeah.
Hartridge fails to do anything with it.
Now, I suppose, obviously, with where we play, we're playing quite a high line, because we've got possession of the ball. Maybe not deliberately kind of like consciously high line at all times. It's more the fact that we have the ball for a long time.
Yep.
And then the defenders kind of naturally have to move forward to kind of get involved to keep the possession. And we got undone by that twice, actually, because none of our defenders, our back three, are quick, are they?
No.
Think about it. None of them are quick.
No.
And you might even say they're a bit on the slow side.
If they deal with it, it's not a problem, but they didn't deal with it.
No, and they did have opportunities to deal with it. Less so on the second goal, where it's Hartridge, again, who probably likes to get forward the most out of those, just gets caught the wrong side of him, and then it's too late. We can't catch him. The guy plays the ball across the face of goal, and Marriott's there again to tap it in, and that was 2-1, and that was just before half time, wasn't it?
Yeah. So in the meantime,
quite exciting first half.
We'd got an equaliser, hadn't we? So they went ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Then we equalised. So I think I can't quite work out. Collins has a shot. Is it a shot? Is it a cross?
It's definitely a shot. Curling shot from Collins, and it ends up sort of somehow bouncing to Will Aimson.
I think so.
Who just sort of knocks it towards or across goal, and then Kevin McDonald at the back post.
K-Mac. Second one like that, isn't it?
We should say this is our. We're back to the.
Probably the best starting 11.
Starting lineup that started in the 5-0.
Yeah.
Whoever that was against. Accrington.
Yeah.
So Nombe back in for James Scott, basically, and the rest as it has been.
The Kite, Collins, McDonald.
Yeah. So at half time, Kite comes off.
Yes.
Caldwell said this is just an energy thing. It wasn't an injury or anything like that. Joe White comes on.
So we're 2-1 at half time, aren't we? Because they then get there. They go back ahead before the half time break.
Yeah. So yeah, half time it's 2-1. Kite comes off. Joe White comes on.
Like you said, we were lucky not to have what's the chronology of this? It was Stockley's disallowed goal before our equaliser.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were lucky not to be 3-1 down. Like, actually lucky, I think.
Yeah, in this case we definitely were. Yeah. Joe White. We don't have anywhere near the amount of control second half. The game sort of.
Well, it looked like it was going away from us, didn't it?
Becomes real stodgy, and yeah, it does a bit. Yeah. And then Joe White, who'd actually misplaced quite a few passes, showing his kind of inexperience, I suppose, again.
Yep.
But what he can do is he's capable of obviously got the good technique, so he is capable of a real kind of moment of class. And it's a great ball that plays in young Jay Stansfield, who twists his knee, gets his knee studs caught in the pitch. Something happens. It's kind of the first time he's been in behind the defence, and it's a real chance on goal, you think. The form he's in, and he just crumples into a heap. And it looked Kyle Taylor.
That's what Sweeney said as well.
Is it? It just did.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, no one's near him, and his knee's gone the wrong way, and he's got to be stretchered off. And I mean, who knows? It did not look good. We haven't heard anything at time of recording.
No, this is Tuesday morning.
Don't know if this is good. That's good news or bad news, but can't really see it being anything other than bad news.
Presumably, Fulham would want to look at him. So whether they've reserved judgment until he's been given either the all clear or the opposite from Fulham.
Yeah. So I guess we'll find out in due course. We've got a game coming up in a couple of days, but yeah, bad news really.
Oh, awful news.
Awful considering,
for the lad.
Yeah, terrible for him if it is bad, and just like bad timing all around. We've got a load of hard. This is just as the really hard game's about to start.
Yeah,
we've got Argyle at home.
Yeah,
you got.
Lots of big games. Bolton, Peterborough, Ipswich. It's all the top
You've already
teams
got
Wednesday.
The Giovanni Brown situation, which with Stansfield's form kind of stepping up in recent weeks.
Hasn't really been a problem.
No, it actually looked like, okay, we can we can work with this. Like, this is actually fine. And as much as he's obviously still a miss, and then that happens, and you think, now what?
Yeah.
I mean, now what? What would you say? Who?
I mean,
what's the options here?
Well, I've been an advocate all along for Coley, and I'm basing this really on he's shown through his career he can take steps up. So I guess the natural inclination is to say he's not a League One player, or he's got no experience in League One, but his whole career has been built on like taking leaps of faith. And I've at times, it really struck me, I know it's very low level, but when we saw him at Western-super-Mare, he really had something about him in that friendly.
Yeah. Never seen him do. We never seen him do too much.
But he's hardly started.
City, but he hasn't played a huge amount.
He hasn't played a huge amount at all. He's quick.
It doesn't look massively. I was quite surprised when he was recalled. It was in January, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he was at Harrogate.
Yeah, and Colbourne hasn't really used him. He did come on in the
5-0 or the 3-1, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did come on for a short time at the end of the match. Other than that, James Scott and Nombe as a 2.
Or there's Sonny Cox, isn't there?
Well, Sonny Cox is on loan at the minute at Bath, isn't he? But things are going quite well for him. Is it in Bath?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I mean, the things you can say that are positive are the seasons were safe.
With it, yes, that's true.
Yeah. You don't want the Seymour situation of like. What would be really nice if Sonny Cox had a really good loan spell away and then came in and had a good pre-season and was full of confidence. What would be annoying is if these really difficult games kind of deplete his confidence, as it were.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well,
but then he seems like a confident lad.
Yeah, and there's examples of that working well, and there's examples not so well. Seymour, I suppose, but there's examples of that working well as well. You look at the end of last season when we brought back Callum Rowe, out of real necessity, to play, and played a big part in those last few games that secured us promotion. And I looked him up. Do you know where he is now?
No.
Stourbridge.
Is he?
Yeah. That's like sort of a 7th or 8th tier, isn't it?
I mean, people were surprised he wasn't kept on, weren't they?
Well, I don't think they were until that very last bit, and
no,
then suddenly they were, yeah. But that's strange, isn't it? I mean, it just goes to show. I mean, like, you don't know where you are.
No.
In football.
So it's really tricky.
Yeah, so I'd imagine the most
likely is Scott and Nombe, because he's got them there.
It's a strange combination. We haven't seen. I think possibly we have seen it a bit, but
that kind of
doesn't seem like the most natural kind of pairing.
I hope he doesn't do anything weird with Josh Key. I think he's probably learnt his lesson.
I would be surprised because Josh Key's been playing really well.
Yes.
Down the right.
Yes.
And that actually looked kind of back to his best in the last few games.
Agreed. And getting the goals. Yeah, very tricky. I feel very sorry for Jay Stansfield. I don't imagine we'll see him in a City shirt again.
Do you know what? I mean, I'm relieved at least that he got his big bank goal.
As am I.
But I'm gutted that he won't be able to play in that Plymouth derby because you remember, in the away leg,
absolutely
he just
firebrand.
Well, of course, he's an Exeter lad.
Yeah,
we know that it actually kind of like he does have a kind of genuine kind of like emotional connection to the club.
Yeah,
and no one looked more up for that game than he did.
No, that's right.
And he was superb and flying into tackles. Forget assists in that. I think 2 assists in that game, and it's just a real shame that almost. I mean, maybe we're wrong. Maybe he will be back by then.
Yes,
but if he doesn't play in that game, that'll be just. It does, that'll be the thing that's missing from his season here. If he misses that game, but the others will be more of a kind of like disappointing from losing a kind of quality player, but. From a kind of like narrative point of view, it's missing the Argyle derby.
Indeed, it is. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we'll wait on the word. Colwell's not said much. He said he didn't really know. Then there was suggestion it was kind of swollen. He couldn't really tell much yet. I mean, knees are weird things, aren't they? And some days you're surprised that something's not gone, and other days you're surprised at what's gone from nothing. So
you got a bad knee. You have got bad knees.
I've got terrible knees, but I think. I don't know. He's a young lad who's enthusiastic, isn't he? And he'll definitely come back from this. If it's an awful injury, I fully trust that in 12 months' time he'll be...
Yeah, I really hope for everyone's sake there isn't a... I mean, look at like a Kyle Taylor situation.
Yeah.
Flipping out. A year on, he's just had to go back in for another operation.
Yeah, it's dire, isn't it? Life of a footballer is horrible at times, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. So that was 2-2. Good point.
Still 11th. Doesn't matter what goes on. By the looks of
11th.
things, we just stay 11th.
Yeah. Shrewsbury just above us, and they got thumped.
They got beat 5-0, and they're just above us. Nothing moves. Just like
I think we've got a vague chance of going up to 10th, haven't we? But I think 9th is beyond us.
yeah.
Oh, there we are. 11th. I'd be delighted with 11th. What would be really annoying is if we dropped to 13th on the last game of the season, won't it? But
Won't be annoying though, actually, will it?
no, it won't
Makes
really.
Absolutely no odds.
No, but top half sounds nice, doesn't it?
Of course,
finish.
of course, it is top half, isn't it? Yeah.
But no, it's been we've done the hard work over the last month to make sure that mid-table position is firmly within our grasp.
Absolutely, yeah.
Another point on the board. Okay, well, more about that and the upcoming games in a second. Welcome back to the Big Bang Theory podcast. Don't forget to email us, bigbankpod@gmail.com, or you can find us on Twitter @bigbankpod, and we're on Facebook as well. Apparently there was a game at Wembley this weekend. I don't know what happened.
Did you not see?
Didn't see. Will Aimson Derby, I suppose that one was, wasn't it? Wasn't either?
Has he played for both of them?
Plays for both of them, hasn't
Of course he has, yeah. Yeah, so it's relevant because we're playing Bolton next.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we can talk about it. Oh, Bolton won 4-0 against Plymouth Argyle at Wembley. Absolute shambles.
Yeah.
From the Janners.
I mean...
On a human level, I feel bad for the kids that went. On an Exeter City level, absolute lol.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we've lost plenty at Wembley, haven't we?
It's miserable. I mean, imagine being 2-0 down after 10 minutes. I mean, we've basically done that, haven't we? But that was...
We have, yeah.
What a diabolical performance.
And, it's the Johnston's Paint Trophy. Well, it's the... What is it? The
Papa John's.
Papa John's Trophy.
Yeah.
Who cares? Who cares?
40,000 Janners.
I know, but I know they haven't been there forever. I don't think they've ever been there for a final or something, right? Plymouth. Something like that.
The new Wembley, maybe, yeah.
So I get it that you kind of want to go, even if it's a stupid, irrelevant, pointless cup that shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
But if I could have spoken to any of them beforehand, I would just said, honestly, if you have to go, like it's a kind of playoff final, or you somehow end up in a real cup final or something, you got to be there, of course. But don't go for this, because Wembley's shit. It's rubbish.
Yep.
It's a bad experience.
Yep.
It's miles away from anything. It's so bad. You bet. Like I've been to both stadiums. Home Park's better. That's much better to watch football there.
There you go.
Just don't bother, and hopefully you learn that now. Like, don't bother, especially not for absolute joke of a cup like that.
Indeed.
Anyway, I'm not sure if it's a good thing for us or not, because Bolton obviously come to St James Park this Friday.
Yes.
The first ever kind of Easter double.
Yeah.
Double Easter egg.
A double Easter egg?
Yeah, an Easter egg within an Easter egg.
Oh, yeah, like a Russian doll.
Yeah. So, did we talk... I've just got memories of talking about Easter eggs before on this podcast.
I think you talk about Easter eggs quite a lot, yeah.
I'll tell you my latest bit of grievance.
Oh, yeah.
Surrounding Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Sell them all year. Just sell them all year round. At least Cadbury's cream eggs and mini eggs. Just have them out.
You reckon?
There's so many just like... they've got all like the selection of like chocolate or whatever you can buy.
Yeah.
There's loads of them.
Yeah.
Why not just have them there? If you're that bothered about it being an Easter thing, just make them round a ball instead. Cadbury's cream ball.
No thanks. It's because the cream hen only lays cream eggs in the spring.
Right. Okay, well that must be something to do with it then.
That's the only possible answer. Let me tell you about League One, shall I?
What's it got to do with Easter eggs?
Little.
Okay.
So because Argyle didn't play, Sheffield Wednesday have gone back to the top, but they played a game more. Argyle in second, they're both on 80 points. Then it's Ipswich in third, they're on 78. Then it's Barnsley in fourth, who we beat, on 75. Then way down in fifth, Bolton are on 64. There's 11 points between fourth and fifth. Madness. Then it's Peterborough, they're on the same points as Bolton. They played a game more. Then Derby have dropped out of the playoffs. They've played a game more than Bolton, same as Peterborough. They're also on 64 points.
Let me ask you this, John. Why, given the fact that we are just in perpetual 11th, is this information valuable to me and the listeners?
I don't know. I thought you might be interested. Mainly because
there's an answer to it, because we got to play all of these
Oh, yeah,
teams.
that's the main answer. Yeah, that's right.
And which means we get a say in, how the top
all
section of the table plays out. A big say, in fact, actually.
Well, of all of those,
you might say that we're the
seven,
most important team to all of those other teams at the minute.
I would say that because we've played Barnsley 2 weeks ago, and we've got to play all of those other top seven. That's mad, isn't it? By the way.
Well, we got to play two of them in the double Easter egg that's coming up this week.
We've got
two weird games because they're on days that you don't normally go to football.
Yeah.
At least at our level. Friday.
Good Friday.
3:00. Good Friday. Well,
3
that
o'clock.
remains to be seen.
Bolton Wanderers.
Yeah.
Obviously, bouncing off that result might work out well for us. Might be, after the Lord Mayor's show. A bit, mightn't it?
Yeah.
Strange things happen.
You do see that sometimes, know. No Stansfield, presumably. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
And then Peterborough away.
Yes.
Monday. Who are, like you said, also right up in it. Weird, isn't it? That we got to play two teams that are currently on absolute identical points and right next to each other.
It's really weird.
But, that'll be what results we get against all these teams. We'll have a kind of... And that's all we got to play for, really, isn't it now? Is like, how can we kind of disrupt the playoff situation and the automatic situation?
Yeah, realistically, I mean, the top 9 can all move round. Shrewsbury and 10th aren't catching the top 9. They're 6 points behind, and then we're 2 points behind Shrewsbury. Played a game more. It's fun. It's a funny league this year. It's kind of the teams you'd expect to be up there, those top 9.
That's what I mean by it's not actually a funny league. It's only funny in as much as it isn't funny.
It's 3 leagues, isn't it?
It's just very much exact. I mean, we're the only one. In a way, not the only one, but we're kind of one of the people that are in the wrong place. If you look at it, how it should be, if you want.
What do you mean? As we shouldn't be mid-table.
We should probably be bottom half, based on the fact that we are, the size of our club, the fact that the manager left, all these kind of things. You'd have expected. Most predictions, I imagine, would have had us lower end of the table.
Yeah.
And all the other clubs that got promoted with us are lower down than us.
They are, yeah, that's true.
So we're the kind of outlier, really, that are out of. But everyone else seems to be, top. These clubs, top 7,
9,
or whatever. These ones in the middle, 8th to 18th, and then these ones at the bottom. And it's just kind of exactly how you'd expect it to be.
It's going to be a nice run in like we've done the work, so nothing really matters.
We don't want to get battered every game. But
No, of course we don't. I don't think we will.
See that happen.
I think because there's no stress.
Yeah.
I think some will get beaten, some we won't.
I can't see that happening here.
If we beat Argyle, if we're the ones that put them in the playoffs.
Well, that's one thing we have got. We can't be too on the beach, as they say.
No.
Because we've got this big derby. We haven't played them for a couple of years. Last time we played them at home. Yeah, at home. Last time we played them at home, we beat them 4-0. 4-1.
4-0.
Randall Williams.
Yeah.
Backflip.
Yeah. Everyone going home at half an hour in at the other end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Absolute beauty. I don't want to focus on them because who cares, but if they go down into the playoffs, whoever doesn't make top 2, you fear for, don't you, in the standard way? Because it's so like, those top 4 teams are really pushing
I think
it.
especially if you've been
to Wembley already.
No, but also, trauma from that, but also if you've been in the automatic places for almost all the season, and then you drop out of it towards the end. playoffs are a bit of a lottery, so that's not. I don't know the stats on this. Maybe those teams usually go up, but you'd think that probably that has some sort of negative psychological effect on you.
Absolutely, it does.
You know, you feel like you've lost something. Like we were thinking that, you know, at points last season.
Yes, we were.
When we were like, oh, we don't want. When we got to the point where we're like, we really don't want playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, and then at least from a supporter's point of view, it suddenly feels like a big like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're Wickham, who could perfectly well sneak into the playoffs, they'll be like delighted. If you're Argyle, you fall into the playoffs.
Or you're Peterborough and you manage and you somehow not
you hold on.
I don't think they can quite make automatics, can they? But like say someone just outside the automatics, Bolton, if they end up in the automatic places, they'll be like, you know.
I don't think Bolton's possible because they're 16 points below Argyle.
Crikey. I mean, it's really sewn up then, isn't it, really? Even the top two's sewn up.
No, because Bolton are 5th. So
who's third, sorry?
Ipswich on 78.
Of course. So it's really a 3-horse race, right?
And then Barnsley are 3 points behind them. But yeah, probably it's Ipswich that would take second. Yeah, and whoever drops out, drops out. And there's still, you know, like plenty of games left for them.
Yep.
Anyway, there we are. So we've got these 2 games, yeah.
This is what we had to resort to now because there's nothing to talk about. Just talking about League One. We've become a League One podcast.
Yeah.
The big League One theory.
But if I could have said to you last year, need a new name. If I'd said to you last year, as we got promoted, next year, come April, we'll be safe, you'd be delighted.
Oh, yeah, everybody would.
Everybody would.
Yeah.
Matt Taylor, Colwell tag.
You'd also told me the rest of it.
Yes.
As in, oh, by the way, also Matt Taylor's going to leave a few games into the season.
We'll have a month without him. We'll have a month without anyone.
Get a new guy in.
Yeah.
Used to play for Wigan.
Yeah.
And also, Giovanni Brown's going to get arrested, and we won't have him for like a third of the season.
Jamal Blackman's going to assault a man with a bin.
Then that wasn't. I don't think we can call that. I suppose you've seen it, so it probably is an assault, but not as far as the law's concerned.
Fine. Jamal Blackman, a man, and a bin are involved.
Well,
somehow.
I don't know. You just you know.
I take your point.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. But even without all that nonsense, mid-table, delighted.
I know.
Safe by April, delighted. And these games don't mean anything. I'm doing air quotes. We sold it out.
Yes, it's sold out. Yeah,
it's sold out.
But I mean, bit of a nice day out, isn't it? I think people remember Bolton, Allardyce, Anelka, Djorkaeff. They remember them from the Premier League.
Nat Lofthouse, yeah.
They remember them from the Premier League, don't they? I mean, so they go like, oh yeah, that'd be good. And also Good Friday, you got a day off, but it's not like there's anything. It's actually why Easter's my favourite holiday of the year, because it's kind of like, oh, you get 2 weeks off if you're a kid. You get 2 weeks off school, whatever. You get all these bank holidays. It's not like Christmas where there's loads of like obligation things you have to do. I've got to go for this. Easter is nothing. It's just
wide open.
Eat a chocolate egg if you want, and nothing else. A load of time off. Like there's not even like there's not even a meal for Easter, is there? A hot cross bun,
Simnel cake.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Look it up. It's delicious.
It's just like a couple of things you could eat if you want, but there's no like, oh, we always do this on Easter Day.
True.
So I'm not surprised it's sold out because it's just a free day. Why wouldn't you go? It's a nice thing to do. Go to the football.
I'm just saying it's good, and our attendance has been so good, and it's sold out way in advance.
Yeah.
Etc. Etc.
Season tickets for next season on sale now.
You going to buy one?
Well, I really want to, but I'm in the same situation that I'm in every year, which is
it's quite expensive.
Have I got that lump sum of cash spare to just go like, I'll buy that right now?
I think
answer no.
Have you heard this, that they're going to, when it goes full price, which is £40 more, is it? They're going to let us then do payment plans.
Oh right, okay.
So £50 a month or whatever.
Right.
Which is quite helpful. So you get most of the saving.
How's that any different to sort of just buying a ticket every week? You haven't got to worry about it selling out.
And and it's cheaper.
Right.
And I don't think you spend the whole season paying it off. I think you pay it off like now.
Yeah.
One now, one in September, one in December, or whatever. I don't know.
Right, Klarna Pay.
Yeah, the old Clear Pay, PayPal credit, etc.
I'm sceptical about all these things like that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good for a expensive purchase.
You can't afford it, don't buy it.
I tell you what it's good for. when everything all happens at once. And you're like, oh, I need all this stuff, and I can't afford it all in one go.
Right.
So.
Okay. Yeah.
There we are.
I'd say you can't afford it, let alone in one go. Just the end of the sentence there.
Fair comment. It's a fair comment.
Anyway, I might get one. Depends if I can sort of I don't know.
If you were tuning in for Martin, if you wonder why you're listening to Martin Lewis's Money Britain or whatever it's called,
I'm in no position to offer any kind of financial advice really. But I think I've been quite open about that. Can't afford to buy a season ticket.
Fair enough.
If we could have tried to monetize this at some point.
I think I told you.
Chosen not to.
Yeah.
Could have done a Patreon, couldn't we? Where
yeah.
There's different kind of tiers of.
You get the content earlier.
You get the content early. You get an extra, I don't know, episode. We haven't got time to do that, so can't.
Each of our stupid ideas gets turned into something, and you get one.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, imagine the main reason I wouldn't do one is because I don't feel like it's something worth charging for, but also how embarrassing it'd be. So embarrassing if you announce that you're doing it and then you
people.
have none.
No sign-ups.
I've seen it happen.
We've all seen it.
We've seen people do it, and you can go on it, and I've taken absolute delight in going on people's Patreon and just seeing how many subscribers they've got, and it's like none, and it's so funny, and I can't bring myself to risk that.
I understand.
Even if it would end up paying for my season ticket, which, I mean, let's be honest, we'd have to improve quite a bit for to get that kind of money.
Yeah. Maybe we should start
So there will be no Patreon. There will be no change to this podcast. There will be no extra content. Nothing. If anything, it's just getting worse.
Basically getting worse.
Just the same thing, isn't it? Every year, Easter comes round. Oh, say something about Easter eggs aren't as good as they used to be, are they? Oh, no, they're probably smaller. It's just the same shit.
Do you know what my favourite bank holiday is? Or festival?
Tell me.
St Swithin's Day.
We don't do anything for that in our house.
If it rains on St Swithin's Day, it will rain for 40 days.
When is St Swithin's Day?
September.
And what's that about?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
No idea.
Couldn't tell you.
The other one that's good, Shrove Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, nice pancake.
A.k.a. Pancake Day.
Yeah.
Again, no decorations.
Nice
nothing
pancake.
really, just have a pancake if you want.
There's a rush on sugar and lemon in Sainsbury's.
Yeah. Oh, I can't get hold of lemons anymore because of a lack of sunshine in Spain. Sicily.
Yeah, Sicily. Is that where lemons come from?
Some of them do, don't they? I don't know if I think you can grow them anywhere. Grow them in a greenhouse if you want.
The lemon grove, presumably at the university.
Yeah.
That's why it's called that. They had to cut down all the lemons so that Pop Will Eat Itself could play.
Yeah, so you can go and watch,
Go and watch Becky Hill.
Who did we go and watch there? We went to see someone there, didn't we? One of the Wu-Tang Clan. Which one was it again?
Jizza.
The Jizza, yeah.
We did, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He's good.
Well, it was half good, half terrible.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. The good bits, I've prioritised in my mind.
Liquid Swords, great album. That's if you take anything away from this podcast, it's write a letter to your MP about there being Easter eggs all year round and give Liquid Swords a spin. Top
tips. Any predictions for these two games?
Oh, we're doing this now, are we? We're doing predictions.
I don't know. I think we'll beat Bolton, and I think we'll get a draw at Peterborough.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very optimistic.
I just think we've shown...
Even with no Stano?
Even with no Stano.
I think it might be a draw in both.
Okay. I mean, that'd be excellent.
Be fine.
Yeah.
A win would be nice when it's sunny at the minute. It might be sunny on Friday too. It's going to feel like a real kind of sort of event, I suppose, isn't it?
Take your sunglasses, everyone.
Yeah. If you're on the big bank and you turn up without sunglasses, you're a
more fool
fool.
You. Yeah, no, I don't think we'll lose either of them, he said with wild ambition.
Fair enough.
Well, we'll be back after Monday, Tuesday probably, to talk about it and start thinking about Plymouth Argyle at home.
Is that the one after that?
That's the one after that.
Ooh, okay.
Thanks for listening, everyone. My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon. Happy St Swithin's Day.